Hi, I'm Arran. Now, today I am reviewing the Threezero White Ranger figure, the Mighty Morphin White Ranger. Now, I do have the entire set, and I've got Lord Draken on the way, but I'm doing the individual ones first, because the big set I have is going to need to be done over a couple of days because, as you know, it's huge. So, this is the box, which I absolutely love the artwork on. You can open it and there's a window where you can see the figure, which isn't in there at the moment because, well, I've got it down here. And if I can turn it around without sending it flying, which can be difficult, you have awesome artwork on the back as well. And again, I absolutely love the artwork. And also, you have the Authenticity Threezero sticker on the side there. And yeah, that's the box. Looks absolutely fantastic. And if I can find a website where all these figures are still in stock, I will put it in the link below, because these are going like hotcakes in the UK, so I may find it hard to find another website. So, I'm now going to talk about the accessories. Now, he doesn't have as many as the lighting section or the figure arts, but in one way, I think that's better because there's less chance of losing it. So, first accessory I'm going to talk about is the hands, which are hugely bigger than the lightning section in the figure arts, as you can see here. Now, I'll put it down while I'm talking about it, now I'm showing you it. Now, some people have said that they should have made it a bit dirtier, because on Sentai, you generally see them dirty, but on the White Ranger ones, specifically in my Morphin, the gloves are quite clean. But don't get me wrong, they are dirty at some points in Mighty Morphin, but they are mainly clean in Mighty Morphin. So, on to the next hand, which is kind of the open palm hand sort of thing that JDF does. And one of the things I also love about these is you get the little stitching on the front of the gloves there, which I think is absolutely amazing, which, to be honest, I did not expect them to do it, because I know it's only a small thing, but some companies miss these out, but I'm glad they didn't. And I'll also show you the other hands. He does have quite a few hands actually, which is really good actually, because you can get some amazing poses. And these are quite fiddly to hold because you've got to try and get a good grip on them. This is kind of a fist hand, again, which looks amazing. Has the stitching on the front again. Hang on, I'm holding it the wrong way. as you can see there, which looks fantastic. Again, they all have the stitching on them. And this is, I think, the sword holding hand. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll find that out in a second. But again, it has the stitching, which is fantastic. And here's another set of hands, which actually these might be the holding hands, the weapon holding hands. And again, this is, I think this one's just the fist, actually. But yeah, they're the set of hands, and now on to Saba, which I think is probably my favourite accessory on the White Ranger figure, because the paint detail is absolutely amazing. You can get the patterns on the sword here, and on the head, and on the face you can get the red eyes, which looks absolutely phenomenal. Or pardon the pun, more phenomenal. Sorry guys, I had to. I could not help myself. But, oh, you get the White Ranger coin on the side there. Now, and my other favourite thing about this, which I did not expect them to do, is the blade pulls out, which looks absolutely amazing. Again, I'll do it if I can a bit closer so you can, or a bit clearer so you can see me pushing it in and out. There you go. And there's two things you need to be careful of with the blade. One, the end of it is quite sharp. When I say quite sharp, it's actually really sharp. And also, the blade on him can bend. And I think, depending on how far it bends, you could snap it. And if you snap it, you're buggered, basically. And one other thing I'll point out is I absolutely love the pattern on the head, which looks absolutely amazing. And actually, just before I move on to the figure, I will add this in. The reason I'm wearing these white cotton gloves is because I don't want to get fingerprint marks on the actual spandex itself. So I brought these gloves solely for handling the weapons of the figure. If I can find the link to these, I'll put the link down below. But I do recommend you get these to do this, because you do not want to mark the suit. So onto the main figure itself. So I've got him on the stand I brought, which by the way is for a 12-inch figure. I'm not being rude, it's for a figure. They work perfectly. I'll put the link for these in the description below as well. One thing I will warn you is they don't really give you instructions. The instructions are kind of on the box, and they don't really make much sense, to be honest, so you gotta just wing it. Which with these kind of stands, it's you can kind of wing it, but it's also kind of guesswork. And also, there's bits on these stands that you can break, so you need to be careful. But yeah, he looks amazing. The one thing I'm not going to show you is the articulation. As you can see, I've got the bit of the stand around his waist there, which holds him really tightly, actually. And it doesn't mark it at all. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing, the head moves, I'll tell you the articulation. The arms move up and down, you get bend at the elbow, the hands can go side to side, or 360. They do pop off easy, so you won't have any difficulty of putting them on and off like you do the lightning section. But the one thing I will say, which you sometimes have to do on these figures, is you have to take the ball joints out of the main figure, put the hands on, and then put the ball joints back in the figure. But I haven't had to do that on mine. So, yeah, like I said, articulation-wise, the arms move, there's a bend at the elbow, bend at both elbows actually, bend at the knees, and the legs go out, up and down, to the side, to a certain extent, because obviously you don't want to break the figure or the spandex on the figure. And actually, yeah, you get a lot of articulation on these. Now, the head looks absolutely fantastic. The head can do a 360, move up and down, go side to side. But one thing I will tell you is sometimes on these figures, hasn't done it on mine, but I know some people that this has done it to. Their heads can pop off. They pop back on because it's a ball joint, but they can pop off. And another thing I'm going to tell you, which I don't understand why he's done this, to be honest, but I'm not going to do it because I don't really see the point. But Wild Ranger 5 has made his own helmets for these, taken them off, 3D printed his own helmets, and he also had to make a neck joint for his helmets to go onto and attach it to this figure. So I don't really understand why he's done that. So if I was you, I wouldn't replace the helmets you get, but it's up to you. And I'm not going to say, well, I can't remember how much they are from him, but I know they're not cheap. But to be honest, these look perfectly accurate to me. I'm happy with them. And the chest coin on the shield looks fantastic. But yeah, the chest coin looks amazing. And it's also kind of 3D'd as well, so you can, if you touch it, it's kind of 3D'd. You got the. Another thing I will tell you, and I'm gonna slightly move the stand to the side if I can. Saba does fit in his holster, but it's not easy to get it in there. It takes a lot of fiddling. At first you would think it's not going to go in there, but it will. It just takes a lot of fiddling. And the one thing I would say about that is not only be careful of the blade on him, but on Saba, but be careful of the holster as well. Because if the stitching breaks on that, you're buggered basically, unless you can. The one thing I thought they might do, actually, and spoiler alert, I don't mean to surprise you guys, but when you actually do see JDF in the suit, when he gets Saba out, the holster's actually velcroed, so he undoes the velcro and Saba comes out a lot easier. And the only reason I found that out is because there's a couple of times where he doesn't do the velcro up, for some reason. And when the camera goes closer, you can see that it's velcroed. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. And one other thing I wish they would do, or I wish they'd done, turn it back around here so you can see it, is, and I know it wasn't like this on the show, but they've put the symbol for a Cuba Ranger, or Die Ranger, but it's actually a Cuba Ranger, on the belt. Now, I know it was like that on Mighty Morphin. Personally, what I would have done is I would have done the actual morpher. I would have done JDF's morpher and put it on the belt. Now, I know technically he never did that when he was the White Ranger. He only did that when he was the Green Ranger, but personally, I would have done that. And those of you that have actually seen me cosplaying as the White Ranger, I don't have that symbol on my belt. I have the morpher, JDF's morpher, which is the legacy morpher. So, yeah, I absolutely love this figure with him posed now, with Saba in his hand. Now, that was not easy to get in his hand. You have to heat up the hand to be able to get it in his hand. Now, what I will say is, make sure when you heat it up, you don't heat it up too much to the point where it'll melt. Heating it up does work perfectly. Again, like I said, it's quite difficult to get it in his hand. And this is actually one of the poses he does on the show, minus this arm being like that. But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. Again, I say, warm up the hands if you're trying to get them to pose and stuff. But yeah, looks absolutely fantastic. I love it. I reckon you guys will as well. I think the really nice touch about this is, to be honest, Saba's blade coming out. That is a really nice touch. I did not expect it to do that. It doesn't. But if he had asked me back then when Power Rangers was first around, and if you'd asked me back then whether we would have figures like this, I would have said no, we wouldn't. And now we do have figures like this. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the things I will tell you that we didn't do, because it is quite fiddly, is the belts can come off of them. Which, I don't know why they did that, but it is a nice touch that the belts can come off of them. The Green Ranger, I kind of get why they did that. Because obviously, in the first part of Green Medieval, he doesn't have any holster on him at all. But yes, I recommend him. In fact, I recommend the whole entire set. And like I said, if I can find a place that does them, I will put the link below. And I'll tell you one thing that is a good place to get it from is Amazon.com, the American Amazon. Because they are so quick at getting it to you. Plus, because they do it global, you can track it a lot easier. And also, when you find the figure, also includes the customs. So, but yes, White Ranger looks amazing, just like he does on the show. By the way, the stands I used for 12-inch figures, which these are just above 12 inches, but these stands work perfectly. And so I'll put these down below as well. They do have quite a bit of weight to them as well, which is nice because you're not scared you're going to knock them over. I know exactly where I'm going to put mine, but I'm not going to tell you yet until I've reviewed them all. But yeah, that's it for the White Ranger. Goodbye, thanks for watching.
White Ranger Tiger Power, White Ranger Tiger Power, White Ranger Tiger Power, White Ranger Tiger Power.